We live with ourselves 2,147, 365 days a year.
Right.
It's like the longest relationship we'll ever have.
Right.
And yet somehow it's often the easiest one to just neglect. Kind of reminds me of what Truman Capote said. No matter where you run, you just end up running into yourself.
That's so true, isn't it? You're always there. And nurturing that fundamental relationship, the one with ourselves, is just absolutely vital. Like Socrates said, to know thyself is the beginning of wisdom.
Yeah, that's a powerful idea.
Mm-hmm.
And today, our mission in this deep dive is really to help you unlock some of that wisdom. We're going to explore what self-awareness actually means, why it's such a foundational skill for your overall well-being, your health, your mind, your spirit, and then we'll get into a whole treasure chest, really, of practical ways to build it.
Yeah, actionable stuff.
Exactly. This isn't just like abstract philosophy. It's about making real, tangible improvements in your life. So, okay, let's start right there. We talk about knowing yourself, but that feels huge, right? Where do we even begin to define self-awareness in a way that we can actually work with?
That's a great question because it does have a lot of layers. At its core, I'd say self-awareness is the conscious knowledge of your own character, your feelings, your motives, and your desires.
Okay.
It's really about recognizing your own strengths, yes, but also your weaknesses, your thoughts, your core beliefs, and the emotions and motivations that are, driving your behavior.
So it's not just a fuzzy feeling about who you are. It's more like a clearer picture.
Precisely. A clearer picture. And it's built on several key things. First, there's introspection, that really crucial inward look to understand the why behind what you do and how you react.
Like, why do I get so annoyed when that happens?
Exactly. What's the trigger? Second, there's the recognition of emotions. So not just knowing you feel angry, but understanding what specifically triggered it and what that anger is telling you.
Got it.
Third, it's about honestly understanding your strengths and weaknesses. Seeing where you shine and where you need to grow without, puffing yourself up or beating yourself down.
A realistic view.
Right. Then, knowing and standing by your personal values and beliefs. It also means understanding your impact on others, how your actions actually land with the people around you.
That's a big one.
Huge. And a truly self-aware person usually has a natural desire for growth. They act with autonomy, making choices based on their own values, not just what others expect. And finally, mindfulness is key. Just being present, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment.
Okay, that paints a really comprehensive picture. It makes me think of the iceberg analogy straight away. The bit above the water is what everyone sees. But self-awareness helps you understand all that stuff below the surface, the hidden motives, the fears.
Exactly. And knowing both is so important because this isn't just a nice to have, it's really foundational. Self-awareness is the absolute bedrock for personal growth, for emotional intelligence, for leadership.
Right.
In fact, it's the very first component of emotional intelligence. Before you can manage yourself or understand others, you have to understand yourself.
That's fascinating. So, okay, let's connect the dots. How does building this internal knowledge actually, show up in our daily lives? What are the real-world benefits?
Oh, the benefits are huge and really practical. For starters, you get enhanced decision-making. When you truly know your strengths and weaknesses, you make much better choices, career-wise, life-wise.
So like knowing not to take that job that placed all your weaknesses.
Exactly. Or knowing, okay, I'm great creatively, but my analytical skills need work, so I'll focus there. It just makes you more strategic.
Yeah, it makes total sense. And I bet it helps relationships too, right? If you understand your own triggers, you're probably less likely to misunderstand someone else's actions.
Absolutely right. Stronger relationships are a major outcome. You understand yourself better, so you're better positioned to understand why others think, feel, and act the way they do. Less conflict, deeper connection.
Yeah.
And it's crucial for improved leadership and growth. Self-aware leaders, they actively seek feedback. They drive improvement. Studies actually show leaders who are kind of self-deluded perform way worse.
Really?
Yeah, while self-aware leaders really help companies succeed and create healthier places to work. There's a recent study, quite striking. It said for almost 70% of people, their manager has the same impact on their mental health as their partner.
Wow.
Oh.
That's huge. That alone is a massive reason to work on this.
Isn't it? And yes, it also leads to increased productivity and engagement. When you know your strengths, you channel your energy better. You work on stuff that fits. People report like 20-30% productivity gains sometimes. Plus, it helps you manage stress and prevent burnout because you're tuned in. You know your needs, you set boundaries, you ask for help when you need it.
So you don't just push through until you break.
Right. And all this builds resilience and adaptability. You handle challenges better. And ultimately, It leads to greater happiness and contentment because you're living more in line with your values. It just feels more whole across your health, your mind, your spirit.
So yeah, this isn't just fluffy stuff. It's a really powerful tool.
Yeah.
It has this real impact on, well, everything. Okay, that's a brilliant breakdown of the what and the why.
Yeah.
But now for the big question, the how. How do we actually do this? Our sources mentioned a whole bunch of ways, some quite surprising. Where should we start?
Well, the great news is self-awareness isn't something you're just born with or not. It's a learned skill. It's like a muscle you can build with, purposeful effort.
Okay, good.
And one of the most classic, tried and tested methods is journaling. Seriously, it acts like a mirror to your thoughts. It helps you unearth those subconscious patterns, understand your emotions better.
Right, just getting it out of your head.
Exactly. And it's so flexible. You can write by hand, use digital notes, even a spreadsheet if that's your thing. The key is just capturing thoughts, feelings, triggers, without judging them initially. Just notice the patterns over time.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any specific journaling prompts or exercises that are particularly good for digging deeper?
Oh, definitely. One I love is Milton Glazer's dreaming exercise. You imagine a day, say, 10 years from now, in really vivid detail. Where do you wake up? Who's there? What's the first thing you do? How does it feel?
Interesting.
It can reveal so much about subconscious desires for your lifestyle or values that you might not consciously think about, but that really resonate deep down. It can help you align what you're doing now with that deeper vision.
I liked that. What else?
Another good one is the no you postpone. Think about boundaries you know you should set, but you don't, maybe because you want to be liked. What's holding you back? It reveals a lot about people-pleasing tendencies or fear of conflict.
Ooh, that sounds challenging, but useful.
It is. And for just clearing the mental clutter, try free writing.
Yeah.
Set a timer, maybe 3 minutes, and just write continuously. Don't stop, don't edit, just let it flow. Then look back and see what jumped out. Pick one thing and explore it more.
Those are great. Very practical. But sometimes we can't see ourselves clearly. What about getting input from outside, from other people?
That's a crucial piece of the puzzle. Which brings us to seeking feedback from others. People who know you well, they often see things you don't. They spot the blind spots.
Yeah.
But here's the tricky part, especially for leaders. It's called the leadership paradox. Self-awareness is vital for leaders, but it's often harder for them to get honest feedback. Senior leaders, especially, tend to rate themselves higher than their teams do.
Huh. Why is that? What stops us, leaders or not, from hearing the truth?
Well, our sources point to a few common barriers. First, just a lack of self-reflection. We get so busy doing stuff, we don't stop to look at how we're doing it, how we're showing up.
Too busy running on the hamster wheel.
Pretty much. Second, fear of feedback. We actively avoid criticism, right? Which means we miss crucial information. Third, ineffective listening. If someone gives you feedback and you get defensive or shut down,
They won't do it again.
exactly, they'll stop trying. And fourth, contextual interpretation. Realizing your role or title might change how people act around you, like that CEO whose team scrunched up uncomfortably just because he casually said scooch down.
Right, the power dynamic.
Yeah, and also remembering that not all feedback means you have to change. You need that inner wisdom to decide what actually fits, what resonates with you.
So how do we break through those barriers? How do we actually ask for feedback effectively?
You gotta be brave. Ask people you trust, friends, family, colleagues. Maybe ask for, say, 3 strengths and 3 areas for growth. Look for patterns. You could ask things like, where am I effective? Where am I less effective? Or even, what's one piece of advice you'd give me?
Oh, yeah.
And with people you're close to, maybe, what could I do to improve our relationship? The aim is honest, constructive insight.
That takes courage, but I can see how valuable it would be. Okay, so beyond journaling and feedback, what about practices for observing ourselves more internally?
That leads us nicely into mindfulness and introspection. Mindfulness is really about paying attention to your thoughts and feelings in the present moment without judgment. It helps you get in tune with your internal state.
Right.
Practices like somatic experiencing, which is about noticing and processing physical sensations tied to emotions, can be really powerful. Or even things like sound bath meditations. And of course, apps like Headspace or Calm are great tools for building a regular mindfulness habit.
Yeah, those apps can be really helpful for creating that mental space.
Yeah.
Sometimes having a framework, like a label or a category, can give us the language we need. Are there tools for that?
Absolutely. These frameworks can be super helpful for giving you a vocabulary to understand your tendencies. Think about things like the Enneagram, which looks at core motivations and fears, or Myers-Briggs, which gives you language around your natural preferences for taking in information and making decisions, or tools like StrengthsFinder, which helps you pinpoint your natural talents so you can lean into them.
Right, like DISC or attachment styles too.
Exactly. None of these are meant to put you in a box, but they offer different lenses, different ways to look at your patterns and preferences. They're useful starting points.
I love how diverse these approaches are. What about things that are a bit more playful or creative?
Yes, our sources definitely encourage getting creative and exploring novel ways to learn about yourself. It doesn't all have to be serious introspection.
Okay, like what?
Well, you could create a mood board for the next season. What clothes, foods, colors, aesthetics are drawing you in? It might reveal a need for comfort or a desire for more vibrancy, reflecting something you need internally.
Fun.
Or try a home personality injection. Find a corner or an object in your home and deliberately infuse it with your personality. Like designer Bobby Burke suggests, make your space tell your story. What story do you want it to tell?
I like that idea, making it intentional.
Right. Or try a new medium. Take a pottery class. Try figure drawing. Just notice how you feel doing it. Are you patient? Frustrated? Do you love the process or just the outcome? It can reveal a lot.
Yeah.
Even something simple like keeping a note on your phone called My Weird, where you jot down your little quirks and habits. It's about embracing and celebrating your uniqueness.
That sounds fun and affirming.
Yeah.
What about looking back at our history or forward to our future to understand who we are now?
That's another really rich avenue engaging with your history and future. You could do a personal history deep dive. Maybe use something like Ancestry or 23andMe to learn about your lineage. Understanding your roots can sometimes shine a light on patterns or strengths you didn't realize were there.
Interesting.
Or make a nostalgia playlist from your teenage years. Listen to it. Where were you? Who were you with? What feelings come up? You might reconnect with parts of your younger self that are still relevant.
Blast from the past.
Totally. And looking forward, try a future self-visualization. Maybe use one of those face aging apps to see an older version of yourself. Then really imagine a typical day for that person. Where do they live? What are they passionate about? It can bring amazing clarity to your long-term values.
Wow, that's a powerful exercise.
Yeah.
It really feels like there are just so many ways in. Okay, one last area. What about getting out of our own heads? How can taking action or new experiences help?
Great point. Our final category is getting out of your head and into action. Sometimes the insights come not from thinking, but from doing. Physical actions, new experiences, they can be surprisingly revealing.
Like what kind of actions?
Well, you could try the KonMari decluttering method. As you decide what sparks joy, reflect on why. What do the items you keep reveal about your values? What genuinely energizes you?
Making the connection between physical stuff and internal value.
Exactly. Or give back. Volunteer for a cause you care about, then get curious. Why this cause? What does it tap into in you? Your compassion, your sense of justice. Or deliberately do something new. Step outside your comfort zone, learn a new skill, join a club, pay attention to how you feel scared, excited, awkward. Those feelings are data about your growth edge.
Right, leaning into the discomfort.
Yeah. And maybe most fundamentally, listen to yourself. Pay attention to that inner voice, those gut reactions. When you're asked to do something, does your body say yes or no? Even if your mouth says something different, understanding the why behind that internal signal builds self-trust.
That feels really core, tuning in to that inner compass.
Precisely. It's about learning to hear and honor what your own system is telling you.
This has been such a rich exploration. It's so clear that self-awareness isn't just this internal navel-gazing thing. It's a really practical skill that helps in, well, pretty much every part of life. Managing stress, relationships, decisions, leadership.
Indeed. And it's not like you reach a finish line, you know. It's a continuous journey, an ongoing, honest conversation with yourself. You're always discovering and rediscovering who you are, what matters to you for your health, your mind, your spirit. It's about building that living, breathing relationship with yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. So as everyone listening reflects on all these ideas and methods we've talked about, what's one small step, just one thing you can maybe take today to shine a little more light on who you are and maybe who you want to become?